There are so many perspectives out there on how long a YouTube video should be. Do you struggle with that? Are you good at making shorter or longer videos? Is there a sweet spot video length for you? Or does this variable not matter to you whatsoever? Let's talk about 7 tips in today's video that will help you put the video length puzzle into the right perspective. Let's dive in. Tip number 1. There's no one-size-fits-all length for a YouTube video. Many say that a video should be no longer than it needs to be to successfully accomplish the goal of getting the message or story across. I've heard of optimal video timeframes of 2 to 3 minutes for how-to videos and other much longer time spans for other types of videos in the areas of 7 to 12 minutes and even 10 to 16 minutes long. Personally, I don't think you should focus too much on these generic absolute time ranges, but instead, why not topic search and learn about the video duration and other variables of high-performing videos that competitors in your niche are producing that rank well. To help me with this type of analysis, I use tools like Morning Fame and TubeBuddy to help me analyze the competition in my niche. Once I'm finished my analysis, I then have a better idea of how I want to target my video amongst the competition and even approximately how long a video I would like to make. Tip number 2. How much quality content should you pack in? I believe that the decision on how much quality content of value to deliver is a subjective one, but it also has a risky side to it. For me, I love to create deep dive tutorials, and I often try to jam so much material in that it results in a 10 to 20 minute video. Could I have done a 3 to 5 minute version, or a 10-minute version, or perhaps made a multi-part playlist series? Will the decision to deliver a long 10 to 20 minute video lead to very poor audience retention and watch time metrics and poor rankings? Maybe I'm missing a lot of audience opportunity because many won't even click on a long video. In the end, I believe we are all unique creators that create for an audience that resonates with us. And we need to do a lot of experimentation and listening in order to discover what excites people to stay watching our videos. Once we understand our audience well, we can better tune the content and hence the length of the product we produce for them. I do believe that a video should be as long as it needs to be and no longer. Also, we need to be sure that we are producing for the audience and not just for the artistic ego inside each of us. This can be a tug of war for some of us creators. Tip number 3, learn from your analytics. Whether you make short or long videos, your video analytics will be very revealing and help you to analyze what's working and what's not working. For example, if you have relatively low audience retention numbers, can you discern why you might be losing the audience? There could be countless reasons as to why the retention numbers fade during the video. Here are a few example reasons. 1. Your hook wasn't engaging enough to inspire people to stick around. 2. Too much video context is given before you get into the core of the quality content. 3. You're taking way too long to get your message across or giving too many details and overwhelming the viewer. 4. You're summarizing content such that it becomes a signal for people to leave early. And on the flip side, when you have a great performing video with much higher audience retention, do you know what you executed so well that you know what to repeat for future success? The main message I want to convey here is that most people will watch engaging, relevant, quality video and not be too focused on the video length as the sole requirement for deciding whether to stay and watch. In other words, it's not so much about the length as it is about producing a high quality, consumable, and engaging product that people want to watch. And guess what? That means it's largely about becoming a better skilled content creator that can create high quality, optimized videos that people want to watch. And if you're new to the game, I wouldn't be so worried about mastering how to produce longer videos before I've ramped up my skills on more reasonable length content. Tip number 4, cut the why content down or out. It's easy to be compelled to spend time at the beginning of your video to tell people why you are making this video so that they have some relevant context before they dive into watching the core detail. This was something I used to do all the time for my tutorial videos. The problem with this context focus to set the scene at the beginning of the video is that many don't want or need the context explanation because they are on YouTube and search specifically for something they already know why they're looking for it. So, adding time to your video for context may cause the viewer to bail from your video, and so that extra content would be extraneous and detrimental. Be careful in how much context time you put into your videos. Tip number 5. Have a short and tight welcome message and intro bumper. If you take too long to get into the meat of your video, people will bail. This is obviously due to our ADD-like focus when we consume social media content. Yes, you need to be engaging from the start, but you don't want to start your video with a 10-second intro bumper. In fact, it's better to start your video with a hook and then follow it by a much shorter intro bumper that's 3+ seconds long. With this approach, people know what to expect and they're into the core of the video pretty fast. Tip number 6. Engaging quality content is key. In order to inspire people to watch longer videos, they need to be captivated enough to want to stay and continue watching beyond the intro. So, once the viewer is into the core parts of the video, be sure that there is enough interesting and relevant quality content to keep them watching longer. As the saying goes, YouTube rewards videos that keep people watching longer. If you have filler, boring, or redundant content, you'll likely lose the viewer pretty quickly. In addition to the quality content, you may also want to add in some edit cuts and animation elements just to keep it fresh. Making a long video just for the sake of it won't work if the quality and engagement aren't there. Tip number 7. Absolute minutes watch time counts significantly. Many obsess over average view duration or audience retention percentage, but fail to realize that although the higher percentage numbers are great to achieve here, you ultimately want to grow the total number of minutes watched, i.e. the absolute time for your video, which also helps to increase session time for the viewer on YouTube. After all, YouTube cares most about getting people to stay on the platform watching for as long as possible. The more absolute minutes watched on your video, and therefore your channel, the more session time generated. And that's a very appealing factor for the YouTube algorithm to consider in suggesting more of your videos. Does this mean that creating a longer video will guarantee absolute watch time? The answer is no. Let me explain with a quick example. If people watch just 3 minutes of a 20-minute video, but watch 4 minutes of a 10-minute video you produce, then with the shorter 10-minute video, you're getting more total or absolute watch time. In this scenario, I'm inclined to produce shorter videos because making longer videos doesn't have a longer total time payoff. In the end, I wholeheartedly believe that the more we develop our skills as content creators and listeners, we're more likely to produce quality, engaging content with great retention and great total watch time. And yes, we can target a time length for a video when we start out, but that length will still be driven by whatever time it takes to deliver a succinct message or story chock full of value for the eyes of the beholder. If you need any assistance with your YouTube content strategy or help with video editing or your Camtasia projects, be sure to reach out to me through Messenger or my website, gordisman.com, and let's have a chat. See you in another video soon.